Hey guys, so I'm back at it again. I didn't quite make the garden plot as large as I had originally planned. Oh, just found a 4-leaf clover. um, because I was starting to get really winded and my chest was starting to hurt. I have high blood pressure, so I kind of have to watch that. So I kind of dug up as much as I could, and I'll get the rest at another time. But we're supposed to get rain today and tomorrow, so I really wanted to get some plants in the ground and some seeds in the ground so they can get watered with the rain that's coming. And you know how I'm a firm believer of use what you have. So my trellis for my tomato plants is actually going to be an old closet insert. And I couldn't find my garden trowel, but I found my builder's trowel. So that's what I'm going to use to make the divots for my plants and my seeds. And something else that I'm doing to mark what my plants are that I've put, or that I'm putting in here, I just use plasticware, forks, knives, spoons, and a Sharpie. And I just write the name of whatever it is that I'm planting right on here, and then I just stick it in the ground. And that way I always know what I've planted. Unfortunately, I must have pulled all of them up last year from my garden up the hill because I didn't have any left, so I don't know what I planted last year. But this year, we're just trying some different things. This is a new plot. This plot gets a good 10 hours of sun a day. So, which you can see the sun is starting to come up a little bit and move. And I'm hoping that this will be a good garden plot this year. Fingers crossed. So, now I'm just gonna go ahead and get busy putting stuff in the ground, and I'm just gonna let the camera roll. And yeah, I might jump in and make commentary as I go. I don't know yet. So, let's get to it. Oh, I have to go get my shovel. I don't know what this is. It looks like red stone, but it's really heavy. Wash that off later and look at it. There's a lot of roots in this dirt. I just want to make sure I get this dug deep enough to put this shelf in. I'm using this much like a tomato cage or a lattice. Oh, darn it. Piece of glass. Okay. I've been growing this inside all winter. Well, since all winter. I started it in about February. And there's my tomatoes in. And I don't need to label those because I know what tomatoes look like. And now I'm going to put in my sugar peas. And since they run, I'm just going to let them run this whole length. I've never grown peas before, so we'll see how they turn out. And I know I'm probably putting them in wrong, but I'm a throw and go kind of gardener. I like to just throw it in and let it go. And there's my peas. Oh. I have to sit down a minute. I kind of have to hurry. We're supposed to get rain within the next 3 hours. So, trying to hurry up. All right, let's see. What do I want to put in now? I have all my seeds right here. I just need to decide what goes where. And I'm also going to start some more seeds in these pots that I have. They'll go up on the porch, or they might just stay down here. I don't know. They might stay down here for a little bit. I think I'll put my spinach in this pot. Oh, I have a lot of spinach seeds. Spinach is a good pot crop. It does really well in pots. It also does well in soil. So I need to get my tall things out of the way first. So I'm getting out seeds that I know I want to plant. There, I think I'll put in a couple of corn. We'll see how well it takes. It may or may not work. We'll see. Make my little marker here. And see, my builder's trowel works just fine. And I'm only planting enough for me and maybe some to share with my friends. There's no reason for me to plant 100 different things, you know, or to plant a whole package of seeds. I'm just going to put 6, and hopefully it will work. I'm going to put that one on, put my marker on this side to mark that that's the end of the row. Now, I'm not watering them right now because, like I said, we're due to get rain within a few hours. But if we end up not getting any rain today, then I will come down and water the garden. You can see my soil is pretty wet. It's pretty moist anyway. It's not muddy, but there's definitely moisture in there. So I think it'll be fine. My seeds came from M.I. Gardner. I love M.I. Gardner. Okay. I also picked up some seeds from the American Seed Company. So, all right, next tall thing. That would be my onions. I'm actually going to go ahead and pre-write out my markers. That way I don't have to keep stopping and going. And no, there's no real rhyme or reason to how I'm planting these other than height. You know, I'm trying to keep an eye on the height of them. So just so I know what things need to go where. What's funny is there were some wild onions growing in this plot, and here I am getting ready to put onions back in. And don't worry, I know when they come up and they get good and rooted, then I will dig them up and transplant them and thin them out a little bit. Right now I'm just trying to get them in the ground so that they can start germinating. I'm so glad that I have good soil here. I'm going to move the camera a little bit so that you can see me plant the rest of the garden. I think I'm going to do pumpkin and squash. But first I want to start on the inside. So I think I will plant some lettuce. Some nice heads of lettuce right along here. And I keep pulling up roots. no idea what the roots are for. Let's see here. Oh. Another piece of glass. Glad I didn't reach my hand in there. I usually wear gloves to do this. And this is head lettuce that I'm putting in. I actually have some leaf lettuce growing in my greenhouse that I'm going to bring inside. You know, I like to have both on hand. My leaf lettuce I like for sandwiches. And like I said, because I'm putting all the seeds in quickly, ooh, little dizzy. I got up too fast. I probably won't have anything growing necessarily in this side. What I'll do is once these get well and established, I'll move them down. I'm just trying to hurry up and get them in the ground before the rain hits. So. All right. Squatting hurts my legs. All right, now I'm gonna do my pumpkin. And now everything's planted. Now I just have to wait a few weeks and we'll see how it does. So, I know that may not seem like a lot to some of you, but to me, it's a lot. I have several different health conditions that kind of prevent me from being very physically active. And this takes a lot out of me, but I feel so proud once everything starts growing. And it's not about how much you do, it's how you do it. And I heard on a YouTube video, I wish I could remember who it was or where, a long time ago, that it's important to start from where you are with what you have. And that's what I've tried to embrace. And you know, you may live in an apartment and can't have a garden, but you know what? You might be able to grow some windowsill herbs. And that's something that's awesome. That's something you're doing for yourself. Or you might have a huge farm and you could feed your entire community. And that's awesome too. It all just depends on you and what you can do and what you try to do. And don't be afraid to try, because you never know. You might surprise yourself. I've now got my whole plot here with some seeds. Keep your fingers crossed for me that everything grows. Oh, and I wanted to tell you a little story before anybody mentions it, because I know somebody will notice. You probably noticed that I put my shovel with the bucket down when I'm not using it. And there's a reason for that. When my Aunt Vicky was a little girl, she was running through the yard playing, and somebody, probably my grandfather, had left a shovel in the yard. And they had left it with the bucket up. And my Aunt Vicky, being about, I don't know, 4 or 5, 6 years old, running through the yard, stepped on the bucket, and the handle of the shovel came up and hit her right here. And it actually split her forehead, and she had to have stitches. So she now has a 1-inch scar in the middle of her forehead from stepping on the bucket of a shovel that was left in the yard. And I remember being told that story, and ever since then, whenever I use a shovel, I always put it bucket down. So there's a tip for you. Always put your shovel bucket down if you're not using it. And yeah, I'll check back in with you once things start growing, and I'll see you in the next video. Namaste. Have a great day.